What's Cass? Welcome back to my channel, whatcassread. If you follow me along this entire week, I'm not entirely sure what order I'm going to post my videos in, but I just got done filming one of the longest videos ever, and it required me to take apart all of my shelves. So this video, I just wanted it to be super chill. So this video's topic, I'm going to be talking about how I annotate my books. One of the main reasons why I want to annotate books is because I love reviewing books, but with the amount of books that I read in the year, sometimes it gets really hard to keep track of all of the details. I really want book reviews to be a main cornerstone of my channel. There's nothing that makes me more proud of when I post a book review and a bunch of people say that it was something that was really helpful to them. I developed a system that I actually have never deviated from. It works for me. I try and keep it as simple as possible. And if you want to know how I annotate my books, then go ahead and stay tuned. Okay, so some main examples of the books that I have annotated. I'll say that this book, this is The Bear and the Nightingale, written by Catherine Arden. This is one of my favorite books. This was actually one of the first books that I annotated. So if you can see, there's just a lot of flags in there, and when I was annotating this book, as I was reading it, it was kind of my first go around and trying to get my feet wet. I remember thinking when I was annotating it is like, am I going maybe a little bit overboard with all the flags? So I wasn't really sure if I was gonna stick to my system at this point. And then I did end up annotating Wondersmith, The Calling of Morrigan Crow, written by Jessica Townsend. So this was not too long after I annotated The Bear and the Nightingale, and I eased off just a little bit, and I didn't really think I was going to review this book individually, so that I felt like this was just for my personal enjoyment that I was annotating this book. But you can see maybe I eased off a little bit in comparison to The Bear and the Nightingale. A book that I did review on my channel and that I did annotate is The Poppy War, written by R.F. Kuang. So you can see maybe my progression of annotating and see how much I picked out in this book. But I did end up being really satisfied with the review that I posted of The Poppy War, and maybe you can see a difference in the Poppy War review and the fact that I did annotate that book and decided to review it. And the most recent book that I annotated that I'm actually pretty satisfied, even though I feel like there's just a lot of markers up on this book, this is Jade City, written by Fonda Lee. I knew I wanted to annotate this book in particular because this was a book that I am looking forward to reviewing on my channel, and this is going to be like the next test of the annotations to see if you know, I again am like more satisfied with the review that I deliver based on my notes and my annotation. But also, heads up, this is a 5 out of 5 star read. This is my first 5-star read of 2020. So whether or not I annotated this or not, I would have had a lot to say about this book. The system that I developed when it came to annotating books greatly follows my reviewing style. When I review books, I usually start with just a quick synopsis. Then I'll talk about the world building, I'll talk about the characters, I'll talk about some of my overall plot thoughts, and then I'll usually wrap it up. So I felt like if I were going to annotate books, then I wanted to annotate it and pick apart those specific things that are helpful to me when I review a book. So to keep it simple for myself, these are the two main tools that I use when I annotate. I use the post-it flags. There are 5 colors in total. I chose the pastel colors, but honestly, it could have been any like 5-pack of post-it flags, and I've got tons of backups. The frustrating thing is that since I've come up with my color system, I can never find these on Amazon. They just don't have this particular color on Amazon in the 5-pack, which is really obnoxious. So the only place I can really find these for a good price is Target, because they're about $2 per pack of flags. If you go to some place like Office Max, they'll way upcharge you to like $6 for a pack of flags. And then of course, my other main tool is just whatever pack of post-it notes I have lying around. My color system, like I said, I wanted to keep it very simple and to reflect how I review books. So pink means plot. I just wanted to keep that very easy. P and P. So pink is for plot. Blue are world building moments. Green are character moments. Purple are particular quotes or scenes that I really enjoy. And then the orange stands for if I had to write a note down, that is to let me know that I wrote a note. And then that's where the post-its come in. I don't really want to write in my books. I used to write a ton in my books when I was in undergrad, in college for my major, but because I do a lot of reshuffling on my shelves, I do a lot of unhauling, I just don't want to make a permanent mark in my book. So if I have a note to make, then I will write it out on the post-it note and then stick it in the margins, and then I'll use the orange flag to let myself know that there was a note there. Like I said, I like the system that I'm on right now because this follows the way I review books. Then I can use my color system to be like, okay, well, when I'm talking about world building, I've got some really great visual markers of some instances of world building that I'd like to talk about. I used to use the green for characters only as like my introductory character point, but then as I got more comfortable with annotating, green became like a symbol of like if I felt like this character had like a character shift or something to do with their character arc that I found was really important and something beyond just the introduction of a character. When I was annotating The Bear and the Nightingale for the very first time, a lot of the green character moments that I marked up were just introductory points for a character, whereas when I came into Jade City deciding to annotate this, there's a lot of like character arcs that I marked out. Same thing with purple for quotes. I don't particularly find that there's a lot of quotes out there that I just like have to reread and memorize all the time. So that's why I also decided to expand it upon like specific scenes that I want to get back to and read over again. When I annotated Wondersmith, one of my favorite scenes in this book, I can easily find. It's actually the very last purple marker in the book, but it's a scene that is my favorite scene of the entire book, page 490. I can reread it over and over and over again because I have it specifically marked. So I expanded it from just quotes to more the scene that I would like to revisit. What else do I have to say? The specific notes, I'm not writing like really profound notes, TBH. Sometimes they're a little bit more intricate. So this is how I'll stick it in the book. So sometimes it's like a maybe it's like an analysis that I'm thinking about in that particular moment. But there's a lot of times where it's like maybe just like one word that is like really meaningful or impactful to me, or just like a legitimate reaction. I think one of my notes in Poppy War, the note literally just said holy shit because that's what I was thinking of in that moment. Or maybe I'm writing a note to myself because I'm thinking of like a theory and I want to know like what I was thinking as I was reading it. So that's how I use the notes. Plot is also something that I've gotten more comfortable with. It's not just to like identify like the synopsis points, but also maybe a point in the book that I know is a big moment that might be driving the plot forward, and then I'll put a pink tab in there. So yeah, it's not a very complicated system. I know there's so many different ways to annotate books out there, but this was just me thinking about how can I make it useful to me in terms of like how I want to reflect and think back about these books, especially when I am trying to review as many books as I possibly can. Let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, very, very chill video, but I just wanted to let you know a little bit more about my annotating system. Let me know in the comment section below if you choose to annotate your books. Do you have a different style? There's so many different styles. Of course you have a different style. But do you like to write in your books? Do you like to leave post-its in your books? Do you use the flag system? Like whatever kinds of methods that you use. I'd love to hear about it. You can also find me on my social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. It's at whatcassread, the same as this channel, so it should be super easy for you to find. And then of course, if you are a new subscriber, I'd love to have you back, so go ahead and click that subscribe button. Otherwise, you know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.